So there's this trade that a whole corner of Reddit treats like a money printer. It works like this. Somebody out there is nervous about their stock. You sell them the right to dump it on you, and they pay you for taking that risk. Next month you do it again. Up market, flat market, down market. You keep getting paid. It's the wheel. I wanted to know what it actually pays. So here's what I did. There's a clean record of this trade running on autopilot. More than 3 decades of it. I pulled that record. Then I ran a wheel backtest of my own, and I sorted every trade by one thing: how expensive the volatility was on the day it got sold. Part of what I found backs the believers. Part of it tells you exactly who should never touch this trade. Okay, the mechanics. You pick a stock you'd be happy to own. You sell what's called a cash secured put against it. That contract says if the stock drops below the strike price, you buy 100 shares at that strike. That's the deal you signed. And for taking that deal, you get paid up front, usually 1 or 2% of the position, for a month of risk. Now it plays out one of 2 ways. The stock holds up, the put expires worthless, and you keep the money, or the stock falls, and you're assigned the shares at the strike. That's when the wheel turns. Now you own the stock, so you flip around and sell covered calls against it. More premium. From the other side, someone eventually calls the shares away, and the cycle starts over. Rent on the way down, rent on the way up. Here's the part the pitch leaves out. A covered call and a cash secured put are the same position, same payoff, same risk. Put call parity ties them together, strike for strike. So the wheel never actually changes strategies as it turns. Every step of the cycle, you're doing one thing. You're selling insurance against a move somebody else is afraid of. And that insurance fee is real. It's one of the best documented effects in markets. Here's the mechanism. Options are priced off implied volatility. That's the market's guess about how much movement is coming. Then there's realized volatility. That's the movement that actually shows up. From 1990 through 2018, the guess on the S&P 500 averaged 19.3%. Reality came in at 15.1. That gap is 4.2 points. The volatility risk premium. And that gap is stubborn. 29 years of data. The guess came in high in 28 of them. The one exception was 2008, when reality blew through everything the market had priced in. So that's the deal, compressed. You earn a steady overcharge in most years. In exchange, you eat the 1 year when the insurance actually pays out. And the premium survives because it's payment for a service. People line up to buy crash protection the same way homeowners line up for fire insurance. Somebody has to be on the other side of that. That somebody is you. The money looks free right up until the fire. Which is exactly why one number matters more than anything else in this story. The size of that payment on the day you take the trade. Now the receipts. There's an index that has run this exact trade on autopilot since June of 1986. Every month it sells in at the money put on the S&P 500, fully backed by cash. It rolls at expiration. No stock picking, no timing, just the raw harvest, measured across 32 years. And over those 32 years, the index compounded at 9.54% a year. The market itself did 9.80. So, basically the same return. The ride was completely different though. The put seller lived at 10% volatility, the market lived at 15%. And the income side of this is wild. From 2006 through 2018, this strategy collected about 22% of its capital in premiums every single year. Think about that, 22% coming in, and it still only matched the market. That tells you where the income goes. Most of it walks right back out the door paying for the drops. And the drops are the whole story. In the 2008 crash, the put seller drew down 33%. The market drew down 51, sharp ratio for the whole period, 0.65 against 0.49. On risk-adjusted terms, the rent collector beat the market it was renting from. Recovery time says the same thing. The put seller's longest stretch underwater was 40 months, the market's was 73. Cut the hole roughly in half, and you cut the climb back out roughly in half too. Then you look at the shape of the returns, and the grin fades a little. This thing's monthly skewness is minus 2.1. The market sits near minus 0.8, so the left tail is nearly 3 times heavier. And the worst single month lost 17.65%. It hit during the 2008 collapse, right when everything else you owned was falling too. There's a second thing the averages hide. The premium is never one number. Some months the market pays you richly for insurance. Some months it pays you almost nothing. So in my backtest, I sorted every entry into deciles. 10 buckets by 1 ratio. implied volatility over realized on the day the option got sold. In plain English, how richly the volatility was priced when it changed hands. The numbers on screen here are stylized, and the pattern was stark. In the rich buckets, implied ran way above realized. The premium overwhelmed the losses. The wheel earned its whole reputation there. In the cheap buckets, sellers collected pennies, and they still stood in front of every drop. Selling cheap volatility didn't pay, for years, and the tail risk never got any smaller. And there's a quieter drag the backtest surfaces. Assignment likes company. It tends to arrive in clusters. In the exact weeks the whole market is getting repriced, the tidy diagram assumes you calmly sell calls against your new shares at a sensible strike. Real sellers get assigned into a falling market. Then they sell calls below their own cost basis, and that locks the damage in. The paper loss becomes a permanent one. 2 honest footnotes before the verdict. From 2006 through 2018, the index put seller made 6% a year. The market made 7.6. A capped upside costs real money in a long bull market. That's the price of all those rent checks. Second footnote. The index sells against the whole market. Reddit plays the wheel on single stocks. One earnings gap can hand you shares 20% underwater against a premium that never priced that in. So here's where I landed. The premium is real. It's been measured for 3 decades and it keeps showing up. The boring version of this trade matched the market with 2/3 of the drama. And still, remember what this is. It's an insurance business. The losses all arrive in the same week, and it's the week everything else you own is falling too. The strategy works. The whole job is knowing which volatility you're selling. That's the kind of mechanism we spend our weeks on. We publish the full deep dives with the data and the code at Alpha Noom Research. The link is in the description.